Hey everyone, Fuzzy here, and welcome to a very different kind of Let's Play series of Demon Souls. While I set up my character, let me give you a bit of background. When I started this playthrough, I just had major surgery in hospital. I could barely move, I was in tons of pain, and I was under orders to rest for an entire month. To say I was messed up is a bit of an understatement. I couldn't do a thing, I couldn't even talk, which is why I'm narrating this playthrough after the fact. But what I could do is hold a controller, so for some insane reason I decided the best way to rest up was to play Demon Souls. Then I thought, I know, what if I do a full playthrough without any armor, without using any ranged weapons of any kind, using fists only, and I thought, let's make it even harder. If I die, the run is over, so no deaths. So this is me setting up that game, picking Barbarian for the better vitality and strength stats, and going all She-Hulk for look, and laughing at creating the name Barbarella. Alright, so I'll just narrate what I was doing as I was playing to give you an idea of what I was thinking at the time. I chose to do the Nexus because I wanted this to be a full playthrough, not a speed run. I think most people that do fist-only runs probably just do efficient speed runs, but I wanted to challenge myself and try to do as much of the game as I could in this playthrough. I'm not an expert at Demon Souls. This is only my second playthrough. I've only played through once, but I was pretty thorough in my first playthrough. So I was pretty sure when I started this that I'd be able to remember most of what I'd learnt in my first playthrough. But I chose to do the Nexus here for a couple of reasons. The first one was I really want to play as much of the content as I could in this way, but also because this is a training area, and because I'd never used fists before, and I'd never parried before either. I didn't even know parrying existed in my first playthrough because I think I was using a shield that couldn't parry or whatever. So here I'm trying to learn how to parry, unsuccessfully to start with, and trying to learn how fists work. At this point, I wasn't even sure if I could complete the game this way. Undertaking a ridiculous challenge like this, even when you're experienced, is not easy, but also I was like really sick. One of the reasons I decided to do this was I was pretty confident that I probably wouldn't get very far, and so I wouldn't actually have to sit up playing for very long. And now, when I get to these guys, well, I successfully nailed that parry. And not that one. Parrying is very hard. The window for it is very tight. And you see this guy, he's just completely depleted all of my health. So if you could die, this is actually the moment where I learnt that you can't die in the Nexus. But my previous experience with Demon Souls told me you could die to the boss at the end of the Nexus. So at this point I was like, okay, I have no health, but I'm not dead. So this is obviously the tutorial area, and then I assumed that as soon as I clicked on this bonfire that I could probably die now that you're through the little training area. And at that point I'm thinking, oh yeah, I've got this parrying down. That was easy. And I actually don't think fists are too bad damage-wise to start with. And this is me totally fumbling, parrying. Could not work out the timing on this guy. And so there, I lost all my health again. And I knew that, okay, apparently you can't die anywhere in this area until you get to the final boss. Which, if I had known earlier, I probably would have just concentrated purely on practicing parrying from the start. Oh yeah, and I am stuck in the corner here. I couldn't work out how to get out. Alright, now I've lost my health twice at this point, so I was thinking there's no way I'm going to be able to complete a full run of Demon Souls without dying. I'm only not dead here because it's a tutorial area and you don't die, but if this was the normal area, my run would already be over. But then I started thinking, you know, well, that may be not true because I'm trying to practice here. So I've lost my health because specifically I'm trying to practice and learn. So I thought, you know, I'll just keep pressing on. You never know. Maybe I'll get better at this parrying nonsense and do really well with it. Or if not, I'll just not parry and I'll just try to dodge everything no matter how long it takes. And that's me learning the headbutt really, and discovering that it doesn't do any damage, but it does stagger enemies, which is very handy to know because it can help you get your stamina back. If you stagger them while they're staggered, your stamina recovers. So here I thought I'll just practice parrying over and over. See if I can get the timing down. I started thinking, is it because I'm on the stairs that it isn't working? And then all of a sudden, I just started nailing it. And at this point I'm thinking, oh yeah, I think the timing is parry when you see the swing just start to come in. And because swings are very fast, it's a very tight window, but a bit like Mortal Shell in that the hand goes back and as soon as it stops going back and starts to come forward, that's the parry window. At least that's how it felt. So at this point I started getting really confident with parrying and started thinking, well, maybe this isn't a lost cause after all. And as soon as I nailed that, my confidence went right through the roof, and I was absolutely 100% sure that I was going to be a parry god through this entire playthrough. However, in my first playthrough, when I tried to no damage this final boss, he did kill me many times while I was practicing. So I knew that even though I hadn't died in the tutorial up to here, I knew I could die on this final boss. So I made sure to fully heal up to get ready for this fight. From here on, I knew I absolutely could not die or the run would be completely over. With the Vanguard Demon, I was pretty confident in being able to beat him, having done a no damage video on him before. I knew to stick to his right leg and avoid his left leg at all costs because his left hand has claws on it. And even if he's not attacking, if you just move into those claws, you'll take damage and it staggers you a bit as well. So I thought if I touched those claws once with no armor, it's likely I would take damage and be staggered long enough for him to hit and kill me. So I couldn't go anywhere near his left hand, and that meant avoiding his left leg. What I had to do here was just stick to his right leg and chip away at it, with fists not doing much damage at all. But so long as I kept away from him when he leaped, and so long as I kept on this side of his body, I was pretty confident. It was really just a grueling chip away at him battle. The problem though is when he gets up against the wall and you can't get around to his back, because then you're in danger. You just got to try to do your best to get around him or to lure him out, but it's very hard because if he hits you once with that axe, then you're dead. It's a big swipe with that axe will be a one hit kill. If you can't get hit once by that axe, certain I think you can get hit by the axe if it's just clips you. The game won't always register it as full damage if it doesn't hit you full on. But yeah, I was pretty much playing this with the idea that if he hits me once with that, I'm dead. most dangerous part of this fight is when he's up against a wall and I can't get around that right leg of his. I can't get around to the left side. But I still try because going to the right is just too dangerous. It could end up being an insta-kill. And the only attacks I'm using on him are R1 for right punches and L1 for left punches. There aren't really that many different types of attacks. At this point in the game, I didn't even know you could do a rolling into it with an R1 to do like a rolling fist uppercut. Hadn't learnt that yet. And the only other attack that you can do is an R2 it's a very slow uppercut, but that's the type of slow attack that would definitely get you killed here. So I'm pretty much sticking to fast L1 and R1s. Sticking to his right side, and yeah, that's all that can be done. And basically wearing him down. So there I pressed my L1 instead of dodge. I just pressed the wrong button and got punished for it. I think I was pretty lucky not to be killed, to be honest. I guess the game didn't treat that as a clean blow. Unless I'm wrong about him being able to one-hit kill you when you're not wearing any armor. I was sure he could, but I think I was just very lucky to only be punished for half my health at that point. Took damage there, but I don't really know why. I think it just classified me as bumping into his leg, or maybe a claw on his right leg. I don't know, I just seemed to randomly take damage, but it wasn't much, so it wasn't anything to be overly concerned about. Still a bit weird. Right, so that was the Vanguard demon beaten with fists only. And another reason that I chose to do this, apart from the fact that I want to do a full playthrough this way, was to get the demon soul from him as well as the extra souls from this unknown egress area. Because it's a no death run, there's going to be no soul farming. Basically, every soul I get has to be obtained by items along the way and by the enemies that I only get the chance to kill once. So every soul counts. Unfortunately, there's no ability to level up until the next boss, the entire next area, the first area of Boletaria and the next boss are beaten. So all of these souls just have to basically sit in my inventory until then, sadly. And the other thing is, right here, the game automatically kills you. So yes, you kind of die, but it's not a real death. It's just a forced, unavoidable death. At least I think so. I don't think there's any way to get through that without dying. But that's it. That means the first area has to be played in soul form with less health, which is fun, and not being able to level up. But I'm going to try to keep these videos to about 20 minutes, between 20 and 25 minutes in length if I can. So that seems like a good time to wrap this one up here so that we can start the first area of Boletaria in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.